Hello, everyone. Very good evening, and welcome back to School of Thought with Shiyama Marikkar. Warm greetings to all the audience and all the guests joining us today. Yes, today's session is a special edition of School of Thought, Sustainable Horizon, where we look beyond the surface of global challenges to find the human stories, the passion, and the actionable ideas that shaping our collective future. Before we start our session, let me give a brief introduction about the power behind today's session, which is the IPRH, is an educational research and consultant center founded by Professor Dr. Muhammad Said Asparviz. He is the CEO and the founder of the organization. It's a government registered organization, and its objectives are to advance and spread knowledge of various national and international business settings and trends through research, academic collaboration, and business engagement. The main goal of the IPRH is to enlighten the independent perception of individual thoughts by sharing research news, providing training and brainstorming and research project consultation with innovative ideas, and organize talk shows with different research people from different areas around the world. And they also have many more other events. So, two interested research scholars are most welcome to join IPRH and follow this page and share your innovative ideas and research and contribute to the society and to the world. Because IPRH believes that knowledge is power. In alignment with IPRH mission and vision, in this forum, we talk about education and lifestyle. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most critical promises humanity has made to itself. Yes, which is all about Sustainable Development Goal number 2, zero hunger. When we hear the phrase zero hunger, it is easy to think that it's purely as a numbers game, crop yields, supply chains, and economic data. But true food security isn't just about filling plates, it's about fueling futures. It's about the smallholder farmer standing resilient against a changing climate to protect their soil. It is about a mother ensuring her child gets the essential nutrition needed to grow, learn, and thrive during those critical first 1000 days of life. And it is about resolving the painful paradox of a world that produces an abundance of food, yet still leaves millions behind. Achieving this goal requires more than the policy. Today, we have an incredible panel of voices with an today to unpack how we can transform our food systems, support local agricultural communities, and ensure that nourishment is treated not as a privilege but as a fundamental human right. So let's begin the conversation. Thank you for all joining with us, and let's welcome our guest. Today we have a guest from all the way from Egypt. He's Dr. Asam Abdul uh, Hamid Mosa from Egypt. He serves as an e-commerce tech support system manager from Egypt Air. Uh, Welcome, sir. Very good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Shema. It's my pleasure to be with you, and thank you to IRPH Chair, Mohammed. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's our great pleasure and honor to have you here. And Dr. Rania Lampo, all the way from Greece, thank you very much for accepting the invitation and being here with us tonight. A very warm welcome, ma'am, to the podium.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm confident that we'll have very enriching discussion. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thanks a lot. Yes, let's begin our today's session with Dr. Asam Abdul Hamad Musa. He is the system manager, tech support system manager in Egypt, and he is performing duties as a necessary to ensure the continued soundness and stability of operations. He is also into business objectives, like he is uh, also enhancing the business in Egypt, and he's also global goodwill ambassador for USA and global ambassador for peace and human rights, chairman for peace and HR and chief engineer Egyptia, Cairo. And thank you very much for joining with us today, sir. And your topic will be, he'll be speaking about eradicating hidden hunger and malnutrition. Yes, the platform is yours.
Thank you for your beautiful introduction. My pleasure to be with you. Thanks for having me, and my pleasure to be with Professor Anya and all the attendants. Let's talk, that I have the honor of working, in the technology of the 21st century awareness, in also in universal adoption of peace and this new technology. These two important, two very important points in our topic today. I have attended, many international conferences and seminars around the world at the United Nations, nominated for top position, in organization, received many international awards and published numerous research paper about this new technology. So I'm looking for universal adoption for this new technology in all fields. This new technology will help a lot. So I'm looking for universal adoption for this new technology, not only in USA, in China, in Asia, in Europe, but also in Africa, in Arab country. I have discussed, important in achieving the 17 SDG of the United Nations. For example, SDG 2. So, I want to emphasize the use of peace, not on war, due to dangers such as nuclear bomb. So I forget for ending war, spreading peace. That will help a lot because we need all people in all the world need to end, war, USA, Israel, Iran, Israel, Palestine, also, Russia and Ukraine. So, because of to want to achieve the 17 SDG of the United Nations in 2030. So zero hunger is one of the most important and most difficult, United Nations development goals, because let's say that 30 to 50%, of food produced in the developed country going to waste. We also have a food distribution problems that cause people to go hungry without, SDG 2, without food, without water, SDG 6, without shelter, SDG 11, and without education, SDG 4. People cannot be expected to contribute for the, economic development, SDG 8. Hunger, is a symptom and not a cause, and will, we need, our production and consumption system is SDG 12, and our economic system is SDG 8. A localized, and regionalized food system is SDG 2, build a strong local economy, for example, SDG 8, and the resilience economy, SDG 1. So local or small farmer need, to be helped, for adopting this new technology that will help a lot in agriculture because they need training, they need Wi-Fi, they need, funding for to implement this new technology to create social, SDG 1, 3, 11, and the economic SDG 3, 8, and 12, and, the ecological benefit SDG 13 and 15, while, celebrating, SDG 11 and 16. So it's all 17 SDG related to each other. That's why we have to concentrate about this. We see that, United Nations report says that 673 million people experience hunger in 2024, and expected to be a little bit, like 600, million people in 2030. We need zero hunger. So that's why, we have to do a lot of effort for zero hunger, because population our food. If population our food insecure, progress in health, education, and gender equality is so difficult. So the current reality, persistent hunger in different area of the world, and the key drivers, for example, that affect this climate change effect in SDG 2, conflict and instability because of the war and conflict and all, the world economic pressure, because rising cost of living will affect a lot. Also, we see that for the about like 16.5% of individual SDG target are progressive, are planned, while 15% like SDG 2 have been actively reversing since 2015. That's why we have to do a lot of effort to, for example, also approximately 266 million people are, facing this food insecurity. We have to make a lot, of effort regarding that. Also to help, children for growing in a normal way for the, for women. And we have to know like 13 hunger is hotspot, for example, in critical situation like country like Sudan, South Sudan, Yemen, Palestine. We see that we force not allowed to go food to Palestine. This make a lot of problem. And also, if we have an example in Sudan, 40% of the population insecure in food. For Yemen, for example, 50%. For Gaza, we see little bit improvement because of fire season in October 2025. And we also have other hotspots, for example, like Afghanistan, like Congo, like Haiti, like Lebanon, like Madagascar. We have to solve this problem because of we have conflict and violence. We have humanitarian founding, shortfall in 2025. We have climate shock. We have economic instability, and also we have some improvement in some places like in Haiti, in Mali, in European progress. But still in 2026, we have some good news that hunger have declined after COVID-19, and some regions, part of Asia and Latin America have measurable improvement. New agriculture technology because of AI, IoT, cloud computing make improvement. So the challenge, that we have obstacles like an armed conflict, climate change, rising food prices, poverty and inequality, food waste. That's why all the researcher, all the community, we are voter, we are citizen, we have to make pressure for the leader to do something, regarding that. This is, our main. So what can we done? We have to increase investment to go to the agriculture, to go to to avoid this zero hunger. Also, strengthen local marketing that will help, a lot, and help or aid the small farmer. Policy reform. We need, international policy go to this direction, and we have a lot of challenge. Also, the most important thing is that we have engineering and innovation as a solution. We have smart agriculture, use of IoT sensor for soil monitoring and water optimization, help farmers optimize output. We have agriculture robotics that will help automation, will help a lot to handle planning, weeding, and application of fertilizer. Data-driven forecasting using AI and using IoT that will help a lot using those better weather monitoring and the climate model. This, all of things, will help a lot to avoid this zero hunger in 2023. So that's why I concentrate about universal adoption of these because these will, end conflict and wars that will help in zero hunger. Also, universal adoption of this new technology that will help a lot, in all the world. I had, two papers this year about, how to improve agriculture to avoid this zero hunger in KHETI Valley magazine and also in IGC London about how AI and IoT will help a lot in new agriculture, and another article about smart agriculture with AI and IoT, a path to sustainable food system. And this, articles I'm talking about because I don't have enough time to talk about these two papers that will help a lot in planet under pressure. Talking about the cost of conventional farming. That's why you have to go to the new technology, the AI and IoT that will help IoT as a central nervous system with agriculture. Talking about field sensor network, about precision irrigation, livestock monitoring, about microclimate awareness, the intelligent analysis AI is a decision making tool for the new agriculture, predictive analysis to avoid anything bad to the crops, computer vision for monitoring, resource optimization platform, supply chain and market intelligence, support the ecosystem of agriculture technology, fighting deforestation, like global forest watch, enhancing biodiversity, managing water resources, energy, renewable energy integration. The challenge, we have, to invest and help farmers to go to this new technology. We help with Wi-Fi, mobile data, with funding, with training for this new farmers, and we have, that AI and IoT and big data is not just an incremental improvement for the agriculture, but will help, to move to the, resource intensive model for this new technology. Also, I write, another paper about smart agriculture with AI and IoT, the need for this sustainable agriculture to have this zero hunger. Also about the roles of IoT in smart agriculture, soil monitoring and management uses new technology, smart aggregation system, climate and weather monitor, artificial intelligence in crop production, precision marketing and yield optimization, pest and diseases detection that will help a lot to make sure that crop in a good condition, reducing chemical dependency, smart livestock farming, animal health and welfare, optimize feeding system, environment protection through smart agriculture, because all of this will help, also for the environment, reducing soil and water pollution, biodiversity conversion, climate change, migration. So the challenge and the future, we have a face challenge like high cost and the limited digital infrastructure, a lack of the technical skill, need training for the small farmers. That's why we must the government and research institution and the private company have a critical role for adopting of this new technology. So let me say that the conclusion: smart agriculture powered by AI and IoT represent a major step towards sustainable food system that will help a lot to go to zero hunger, SDG 2, by enabling precious resource management, improving crop and livestock health, and reducing environment impact. This new technology addresses many of the most pressing challenge facing agriculture today. So as a global population also grows and the environment pressure, intensively embracing digital innovation in agriculture no longer option, it's a must, So we have, to implement this new technology, AI and IoT, cloud computing, that will help, a lot for food security, for protect natural resource and build a more sustainable future for generation to come. Thank you so much for having me today and give me a chance to talk about this important topic. It's my pleasure to be with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Dr. Hassan. Yes, that was really thought provoking, and you shared a wonderful message about how to uh, implement that sustainable agriculture with beautiful strategies. And thank you very much. It was
Thank you.
deep and insightful. And with this, let's move on to our next speaker today, our guest, Dr. Professor Rania Lampo. She's all the way from Greece. She's a STEM instructor, global academician, researcher, international speaker, and multi-award winner, researcher. She's an author, and I can go on saying about her. I don't think today's time will be enough if I keep on giving the introduction about her. And my close friend, it's a great pleasure having you here. And she will be talking about why food sufficiency isn't saving the hungry. Yes, Dr. Rania, floor is yours.
So, well, greetings from Athens, from Greece. Greetings to Ambassador Francata, Ambassador Asemusa, and warmly thank you, Dr. Shiyama, for the beautiful introduction. I would like to congratulate the Independent Perception Research Hub for organizing such events, and of course, the School of Thought with Shiyama Marikkar, this program which brings together the national speakers to share their perspectives from their countries. So yes, this is the paradox that you mentioned, the global paradox, that although the modern agricultural system with the technology that Dr. Assem mentioned, with IoT, with artificial intelligence, this has significantly increased the crop yields through improved seeds, irrigation, fertilizers, mechanization. However, we see that hunger persists in many regions of the world. And this paradox demonstrates that hunger is primarily a problem of access rather than absolute scarcity. While supermarkets in some countries overflow with food, millions of families elsewhere struggle to obtain even one nutritious meal each day. The unequal distribution of resources is what creates a world where food abundance and food deprivation exists side by side. The case of Yemen was mentioned. Yemen is one of the clearest examples of how food sufficiency at the global level does not prevent hunger locally. This is a conflict case because even though food there is available in global markets, Yemen relies heavily on imports. So since the civil war was escalated, then what they have the case of ports and roads which have been damaged, the supply chains have collapsed, the food prices have skyrocketed. So millions have been displaced. So the key lesson here is that conflict blocks access even when food exists. In India is another case. In India, we know India is one of the world's largest food producers and maintains large grain reserves, but hunger again and malnutrition persist again there. Why? Because there is an insufficient and inefficient, I could say, inefficient public distribution system. There is a poor storage leading to grain waste and inability of poor families to afford nutritious diets. So food sufficiency exists, but access and distribution failures prevent it from reaching the poorest. So the key lesson here is that production alone doesn't ensure food reaches people. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's a climate shock, localized food shortages. Even when global food production is stable, drought there destroys local agriculture, water scarcity limits farming, and so on. Even in the United States, there are issues like that. There are the issue of waste in the United States. In general, developed countries, this is another problem. And other cases in Venezuela where the economic collapse, food access crisis, and many, many other cases. So poverty is the biggest cause, I think, of hunger. And the unequal distribution of food that I mentioned, the food waste is one of the greatest ironies in a global food system because food is lost during harvesting, storage, transportation, processing, retail, household consumption. In high-income countries, consumers often discard edible food because of expired best before dates, as we say. Lower-income countries, food losses happen mainly because of inadequate storage and transportation infrastructure. So reducing food waste could significantly improve food availability while at the same time conserving water, energy, and agricultural land. The conflict and political instability, war is one of the leading causes of food insecurity. Political instability can interrupt food imports, restrict humanitarian assistance, and cause inflation that makes food unaffordable. And climate change, I mentioned some examples. Climate change increasingly threatens global food systems because rising temperatures, floods, heat waves, and unpredictable rainfall reduce agricultural productivity and make farming more difficult. Economic inequalities, of course, exist, and this widen the gap between food abundance and food access. Wealthier populations enjoy diverse and nutritious diets, while at the same time, poorer communities struggle to afford even basic staples. The hidden hunger is not always visible. Many people consume enough calories but lack essential nutrients such as iron or iodine, vitamins. This condition, which is known as hidden hunger, weakens immune systems and reduces cognitive development in children, especially, and lowers productivity in adults. So, what we need to do? Government policies and governance play a crucial role in defining whether food reaches those in need. Effective agricultural policies, social safety nets, school meal problems, something that is happening here in Greece. We have initiatives from private companies, industries, from government also, which offer healthy meal food to the privileged students. Food assisted initiatives, all this can reduce hunger significantly. Of course, corruption, weak institutions, poor planning, and adequate investment in agriculture is something that limits the effectiveness of this program. So good governance is essential here for creating fair and resilient food systems. The role of technology was already mentioned by previous speaker: precision agriculture, satellite monitoring, artificial intelligence, improved irrigation systems can increase productivity while reducing at the same time environmental impacts. Digital marketplace which allow farmers to access better prices, weather forecast, agricultural information. And for concluding, some sustainable solutions. Ending hunger requires a comprehensive, multi-layered approach rather than focusing only on increasing food production. This is not the case. So key solutions include how to reduce poverty through employment opportunities and fair wages, the first one. How to improve food distribution, transportation infrastructure. Reduce food waste across the supply chain. Support small-scale farmers with credit, education, and technology. Promote sustainable agricultural practices. Strengthen the national humanitarian systems during crisis. Expand school feeding and social protection programs, and addressing climate change through adaptation, mitigation strategies, encourage responsible consumption and sustainable diets. All these measures can transform food sufficiency into genuine food security. So by concluding, we will say that hunger, remember, is ultimately what is a problem of justice, of human rights, of opportunities, of equitable distribution rather than single food production. Creating a hunger-free world requires cooperation among governments, international organizations, businesses, farmers, individuals, and by addressing the root causes of food insecurity and ensuring that nutritious food is accessible to all, humanity can move beyond food sufficiency towards the broader goal of lasting food security. Ending hunger is not merely a question of growing more food, it's about building fairer, more resilient, and more inclusive food systems that leave no one behind. So thank you again very much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Shiyama. And of course, if we have any question in the chat box, we can answer it. We can write our audience. Yes, thank you.
Dr. Rania, for that powerful message that you shared. As already Dr. Asam also mentioned about the different countries, what issues that they face with, and you beautifully said how the supply chain system should be changed and it should be taken into account to have better approaches for the better future, isn't it? Thank you so much. That's wonderful. And with this, let's move on to our next speaker, Ambassador Frank Atta, all the way from Ghana. And yes, he is IT professional and he's an author, award-winning writer, driving change in education, business, and community development. He's the founder of Master Learning and he's the country ambassador for Time for Sharing Organization, Unit 2025. He's won multiple local honors, including Ghana Youth Awards, Author of the Year 2023, and Teacher of the Year Award. And it's our great pleasure and honor having you here, sir. And today he will be talking about how to empower or empowering small scale farmers against climate shocks. Yes, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, thank you very much for this cumbersome opportunity. I really appreciate you. Um, the topic given to me to my view on is empowering small-scale farmers against climate shock, and this I would say is a collective responsibility. One person cannot do it, so it is something that NGOs, individuals, and governments, organizations all have to, come together to ensure that this is done. And I was very happy when this topic was introduced to me, because my community where I come from, most of the farmers do struggle when there is climate shock. Recently, there is this flooding in Ghana, and most of the farmers, found themselves wanting. So I was very happy when the topic was introduced. Now, how then do we go about employing these young or these small-scale farmers to be able to withstand the shocks that comes with this climate change? So what I would say is that the mission of this sustainable development goal is to end hunger or root at hunger. And what we need to do now is to develop strategies that will be able to withstand. So some of these strategies are, I think, it can be employed here is best farming practices, in a sense that these farmers must how do you call it, be informed about the climate changes. When you come to Ghana here, there are meteorologists who get to know the weather condition, so that they will know, okay, at this period or this moment, this is what we can do, or this is what we are supposed not to do. They should be given an alert, so that they should be given warning as to the changes that is going to happen, for them to know their way out. So if they are able to employ these strategies, or these agencies can educate them on when to, sow, or when to harvest, it will go a long way to help. So these best farming practices will help. And then I can say access to funding. The government must support these small scale farmers in a sense that most of them use their own capital. So when there is this shocks, or there is this climate change occurrence, once it occurs, they lose their capital, or they lose interest in continuing the practice, or continuing the farming activities that they are engaging in. So I think the government and agencies should also come to support them. Banks should support them. When they reach out to them, they shouldn't give them straight instructions, because there are some of the bank that these small scale farmers, when they reach out to, because they don't have how do you call it, the equipment, or they don't have this large capacity, most of the banks deny them access to funds. So the little that these banks can do to support them, they should do it. In Ghana here, we have what we call agri development funds, which is being done to support these farmers here. So if the various governments are able to support these small-scale farmers, they will be able to withstand these changes, or these shocks that affect them. And then also, there should be good road infrastructure. some of the farmers, they are able to harvest their crops or their produce. But as to how to get it to the market becomes a problem. In Ghana, especially in my community, for instance, Techimentia, they are good harvest of tomatoes. They harvest a lot of tomatoes. But the problem that they are having is because of poor road infrastructure, most of their produce gets rot. It doesn't get access to the market. They are not able to transport these produce to the market. So there should be good road infrastructure. When there is good road infrastructure, these small scale farmers will be able to transport their produce to the market for them to generate revenue, to buy more seed or to expand their activities. So I think when these infrastructures are being put in place, it will go a long way to help. And then also there should be a warehouse that is to store some of their produce in terms of prices like this, for it not to get rot. Most of them, the problem they have is that once they harvest and they don't get these market women or these buyers to come and buy their produce, because they don't have enough resources to preserve it, it gets rot. So what can be done is that there should be establishment of warehouses or let's say a food banks where they can store some of their produce. And then there should be education by agri extension officers who will go and periodically educate these young farmers who doesn't have in-depth knowledge in which seed will help, or when should we plant this, or how should we go about our farming activities. I think when they are able to educate them on the right seeds to use, on the how do you call it, the right season to sow and when to harvest, it will go a long way to help these small scale farmers. So I believe this is a collective responsibility. NGOs, governments, and individuals themselves should all come together and help us to be able to attain this. It was the mission of this sustainable development goal is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Now, to be able to achieve this, we need to implement these strategies, because if we, how to call it, if these small scale farmers are not being able to produce, we can't end the hunger, or we can't put at the hunger we want to achieve in this agenda. So I believe it's a collective effort. NGOs, government policies, and infrastructure, and then the education that we need to give to them will go a long way to help. So this is the little I can say about it. We should all get involved to be able to end hunger. I believe in 2023, we say that over 757 million people, sleep in hunger. They sleep without food. And then we said we want to end this by 2030. How do we achieve this when we don't support these small-scale farmers? Like I indicated earlier, Ghana here, because of what happened, most of the farmers are struggling. So I believe when we come together to support these farmers, when these climate changes or shocks occur, it will go a long way to help. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Frankata, for that amazing points that you pointed out in terms of Ghana. And you beautifully mentioned the each and every point that farmers face today, especially small scale farmers, from the capital to inadequate equipment to how to market it. They have so many issues. And so, if we talk about hunger worldwide, it's our responsibility to look into these matters first. Thank you so much, sir. That was very insightful. And with this, we have a question from our Professor Mehir Roy to Dr. Rania. He's asking that, is it possible to curtail hunger? What is your short-term or mid-term and long-term measure as you feel? Yes,
Yes.
Dr. Rania,
Very,
floor is yours.
very nice question. Thank you very much for the question. Definitely, yes, hunger can be curtailed, but not in a single step. It requires different strategies on short, mid, and long-term timelines, as you mentioned, because the causes of hunger, poverty, conflict, dimension, climate change, weak systems, operate at different speeds. So in short term, first, in short term, hunger can be reduced through emergency actions like food aid or school feeding programs, cash transfers, humanitarian relief in crisis areas mostly. And these measures don't solve, of course, the root causes, but they prevent starvation and they stabilize, we could say, vulnerable populations during shocks such as wars, floods, or economic crisis. So the short term is this. In mid-term, countries can significantly reduce hunger. How? By strengthening food distribution systems. I mentioned about the unequal distribution, improving storage and transport infrastructure, supporting small farmers, try to stabilize food prices, expand social protection programs. And at this stage, the focus shifts from survival to building reliable access to food and reducing inequality in the food system. In the long term, curtailing hunger requires deeper structural change, reducing poverty through education, employment, investing in sustainable agriculture, addressing climate change, ensuring peace and political stability, try to build fair global trade systems. And this is where hunger can be permanently reduced or eliminated. Why? Because the root causes are addressed there rather than just the symptoms like what was happening in short term. So yes, hunger can be curtailed, but only if immediate relief, systemic reform, and long-term development all work together consistently. Unfortunately, it's a big problem now in my country. Also, after the war, we had many years the war between Russia and Ukraine. Already, the energy price had an impact on the price of food products. Everything is 10 times higher. And after the war now between the USA and Iran, the situation is even worse. So we need a thoughtful planning and systemic reforms, and of course, good governance, said before, government policies and good governance. This is the number one, because yes, we are all facing the consequences of the war worldwide, not only my country, Greece. The inflation is increasing. The food products is becoming higher and higher, and the vulnerable population are facing very important problems already in Europe. So yes, I think this is my
Yeah.
opinion.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rania, for that your wonderful response. And I hope that she clarified your query. Professor Mehir, thank you so much for joining with us and all the global audience. And I would like to summarize today's discussion. We had a fruitful and deep conversations about zero hunger. It's not just about producing more food, it's about how to supply it equally, what issues are there. And we have discussed started with our ambassador, Dr. Assam. He beautifully mentioned over each and every countries around the world. Maybe he's working for this air system, Egypt, yeah. So maybe he's so aware about all the countries. So he highlighted on how the countries like Yemen, even Sudan, how they feel affected by civil wars. That is most important. Yes, we don't think about it. We just think that how to enhance the food production. But it's not only about producing food. There are issues. Most importantly, countries suffer from civil war. So that is the one thing that he emphasized. And also he said how to empower these local farmers and with smart agricultural thing. I liked it when you said we can use now the technology as a tool for farmers to empower them, help them, train them how to use this efficiently and how to enhance the production. And also this conflict violence should be stopped, and there should be a negotiation so that people at least will get the food and the supply will flow easily. So that is a big hindrance. So the world faces today, not only in those areas, some other areas like Dr. Rania mentioned, Ukraine and all, they are also have civil problems, the world wars and things like the national conflicts that affect these people and innocent people around the world. So think about them before you start a conflict, isn't it? That's a collective responsibility. Again, Ambassador Frank Atta beautifully said it's not only the government can look into, or the NGO can be look into, or the individual can, but it's all people have to look into that and have a responsibility, shared responsibility about this. Achieving this goal. And also, yes, food. And Dr. Rania said that how that hidden hunger is a problem. Hidden hunger is not about not eating, but eating, but malnutrition. Like they don't get the important nutrition for the growth. Children, they suffer in many children around the world. So that because of the supply is there is a problem with supply, the supply chain where the flow is not distributed evenly. So even the countries like India, they produce the most food, but they are not equally distributed. So we have to keep in mind that it's not only about producing, but how well it is distributed, how it has into the different societies, different level of people, especially underprivileged people. So let's look into that, and we have to take an account into these matters. And also we can use the modern system like satellite monitoring and everything. That's the facilities. And the other thing that our Ambassador Frank Atta finally said, and this we have to resolve many issues like protection against this farmers. They are not only the agriculture, then the policies also uh, uh, should be created or recreated in favor of them. And we have to use many other supporters like from capital. They have to some farmers in Ghana, they suffer from funds, so that should be taken into account, how we can empower them and give many opportunities for them and facilities, not only facilities, and also giving them the effect to the like a motivation, isn't it? So thank you very much for three of the guests present today for your valuable insights, and we appreciate it. And all the global audience for so joining with us tonight. And let me conclude the session and today, and we'll be back with another with an amazing panelist for another session. So good night. Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.